Howdy, Ken. How you doing today? Episode 57.
57, Professor. We're humming along. This is a finely tuned machine.
Yeah, and just like the Brady Bunch, we got a
It
special
is.
guest today,
I know.
Philip Lopez,
What's
aka
up,
Uncle
y'all?
Phil. So, this is Philip Lopez. He is an affiliate marketer and other things he does to make money. We're going to go ahead and toss it to him and let him introduce himself and give us a little of his backstory and how did he get started with make money online. That's what we're really interested in, getting to the truth about making money online.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. So guys, yeah, I've done a little bit of everything in the course of my life. I've had many jobs. When I was younger, I've done construction. I've been a pool boy. I've done boring stuff like a desk job. My father had his own business back in the day where it was a construction business. I was pretty much his right hand man because literally because I was his legs because he had polio. So like I would help him go measure jobs and stuff like that. So that was kind of my upbringing. It's like I will say this, like I didn't have like a hard life. Like I think we were talking about it at one point. Like you have all these rags to riches stories. And not that I have riches or anything like that, but I just a normal dude. I just had a bunch of jobs, and then before I started doing internet marketing, uh, I was working at a desk job. Medical billing, like the most boring thing ever. Really easy job, really cushy. I remember I was in good shape before I got there, and then like I worked with a lot of women, so they brought me food all the time. And so I started getting chubbier and chubbier. I was like, man, it was fun and everything. I got off like at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was like, this is great. I love it, whatever. But then I remember, I don't remember exactly what day it was, but I just remember I was getting my life together, right? Because I was going through stuff with my personal life, and I had a big breakup, and then I started looking into getting better at talking to women because when I broke up with this person, I realized I don't know the first thing about talking to women. Like it just that relationship just literally kind of fell into my lap, and I was just like, I need to learn how to better myself, and started working on social dynamics, which is like just being a normal person around around women and other people because I had really bad like people skills, right? So I started looking into that. I started YouTubing stuff day and night, and just how it is when you get into something and you're obsessed with it. You're YouTubing. I don't think there was so much podcasting back then. Maybe there was, but I didn't know too much about it. But I was just a sucker for YouTube videos about how am I going to be just a normal guy and talk to women and just be comfortable being in my skin when I'm out in the social setting. So once I started getting my legs under me with that, then I started looking into, okay, I got the relationship side a little bit figured out. I'm kind of healthy, kind of, and I started looking into wealth. I started seeing like stuff about ClickBank. You know who the first person I saw was? Vic Stricehouse. Like probably one of the most I don't know. You look up like sleazy internet marketer, he's one of the ones. But I remember seeing like videos of him of like all you got to do is promote other people's products, and then I was just hooked. I was like, what's internet marketing? What's this and that? And I just got hooked, right? And then I remember even before that, I started like rooting phones and stuff like that. I started getting into hacking phones and such, and I thought I was like a wizard or something, but I really wasn't. I was just doing stuff I saw on YouTube videos. And so I was really starting to get into that. Maybe I need to learn a bit about tech and stuff like that. Maybe I need to get into this internet marketing stuff. And that's really what got me like the buzz going for me. It got me like thinking about it and then going on to the next obsession of watching YouTube videos and just eat, living, and breathing internet marketing. And then eventually I wanted to leave that job. You know what I mean? So that's really my backstory, kind of in a long-winded rant here.
It's okay. Sounds like you kind of fell into it just by, just natural progression, right? And it piqued your interest and you got into it. It's just is always interesting to hear the backstory about how people have gotten started and that kind of like one trigger that got you into the world of internet marketing.
It's
Yeah.
cool for me, like when you talk about the backstory, when anyone that comes on the show, or if I talk to anyone that you know tells their story about what drew them into internet marketing or make money online, and then you look at some of the copy out there, and Uncle Phil, I know if anyone knows about what you do, you use the stories and the things that you've done in your life to influence the way that you communicate with your audience, especially through email. You even have this ability to take your story and turn it into sort of a hook to get them to check out the product that you're promoting. And
Yeah.
that tells me a lot, that like when I look at copy and people are like, well, why did they write this sales page a certain way? How are they going after people? Well, just listen to people's story and where they were and what they were trying to do with their life. It's not so much about making money per se. It's about changing their life, bettering themselves.
Yeah, it really is, man. And all I've ever known is how to be myself. Like whenever I've tried to be like the, I mean, I'll be honest. When I first started, like I tried getting into some MLM stuff. I didn't know any better. Like as far as I didn't know it was just kind of a glass house. I remember it was Instant Payday Network, I think it was called, something like that. And I remember getting in there and then just being, I didn't know what I was doing. I even like I accidentally scammed a they got like they ordered some book thing just to order through. I begged them to buy it through me just to get a commission, and then they ended up getting scammed. And then I felt so bad. But you know what? I use that as a story because I know there's other people out there that have probably done something similar, right? They probably got into some kind of another glass house, something else that was skate or ambulance that just didn't work out. And instead of like trying to be shameful about it, I'll just, you know what, like I'd rather wear it as a stripe. Like just gonna learn from it and get better. And if I just tell people all the cozy stuff, the stuff that's just like, you cherry picking stuff, it seems a little, just doesn't seem very congruent. I really just tell them, here's the stuff I screwed up on. so hopefully y'all don't do it, and maybe you learn from me, and maybe you'll follow me and give you a reason to trust me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I think everybody makes mistakes, and that's part of the process, right? I mean, we all, Gary and I, the professor, we talk about this all the time, that, we're rational. The three of us, we're rational people. We're rational people, and we're good-hearted people. But when you, for some reason, when you get into the equation of money being involved in things, it just kind of changes. Like you throw out all your common sense and all that kinds of stuff. And I always find that to be interesting. But I like the fact that you use your personal experiences and weave that into your copy, because I think that's one way to really not only connect with people, but also, in a holistic sense. I don't even mean to get all like new age, but just to kind of that healing process of like, hey, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm not ashamed of the things I did. Yeah, of course, there were bad mistakes, but now I know better. But now I can utilize those experiences and translate that to help others in, particular way. And you do that through your copywriting, which is awesome.
yeah. I mean, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I see, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I see like something a little too pristine, a little too polished, it's almost an immediate disconnect for me. Like I mean, I don't know. I think I remember one a long time ago. I remember Omar Martin. Omar Martin. I saw one of his emails or something. I think it was on a sales page. I can't remember what the product is, but this is just to show you like what people won't remember everything you say, but they always remember the way you made them feel. At that point, I remember seeing this copy, and I'll never forget it, just because I thought it was cool. They wrote this sales copy at the top. They just said, "Let's cut the BS." And then I remember I'd never seen anybody put that on a page before, and I was like, I like that. Like that. So I think I used it in a subject like, let's cut.
I think we lost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Buffered for a second. But what's it called? But yeah, I just remember seeing that and being like, okay, I can relate to that, because it's just like, instead of like seeing like $500 a day, mow your lawn and get your girlfriend on, it's like that stuff is not congruent with me. And anybody that it is congruent with will quickly find out that it's just a matter of time before they just never buy from you again, or it just becomes ignored because it's what everybody else writes. So.
Yeah. Speaking of Omar Martin, I mean, he's a big sort of mentor, or he has his own training course, him and his wife, you know what I mean? They have their own group where they train people. Did you actually start off with a training course, or did you ever hire a mentor or a coach to sort of guide you?
I have hired mentors. I don't really think I have mentors now, as far as other than maybe just Gary, maybe Kenya. Like people I talk to are really my mentors, more so than some kind of coach that I'm hiring. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. This is present day, but I will say I did I did get mentored by Alex Jeffries. And I remember I wrote this blog post. It's funny. The blog more out of everything I did at that time. I did this blog post in 2015, and it was like what I can't remember what I learned from getting mentored by Alex Jeffries, and it got a ton. And actually, it was like number 2 on Google for Alex Jeffries. he actually contacted me at one time. I was like, hey man, can you take that down? I just ignored it or whatever. But I went through his mentorship, and I realized that that mentorship was a little too advanced for me. Like I may have, it may have seemed like I kind of dogged it a little bit, but it really was that I didn't think it was for newbies. And when people market something a certain way, and it's not the case, then I don't think there's anything wrong with saying I don't. You know, it's just my opinion. I don't think it really was for newbies, right? Later on, I did get mentorship from I think that's name's Jennings. It's been a while, but Cam Fats, the Zero Fats. He had a lot of nicknames, and he helped me with my first launch. And you know what? I'm very grateful for that. He promoted. I made it was my first launch of official launch. I think I had one little one before that where I sold like 5 copies or something like that. So it can hardly be called a launch. That was one where I brought on affiliates and had an affiliate contest and all this stuff. So so I'm grateful for that. I just to show you the contrast, like this mentor that I paid not a ton of money, but paid more money for versus one that charged me like $400 or $500 that walked me through the process and actually promoted. That's another thing. I remember like with Alex Jeffrey, like maybe I'll promote you. Like, well, if you promote me, you'll make my whole freaking career. Like I'm your student. Why wouldn't you promote your student if I'm just ranting, but I would do things differently if I were him, but I'm not him, and I don't even know what he's doing nowadays. Probably not even on any of our levels. I'm not sure. But that's the only real mentorship I've had over the years. I don't think I've had anything else where I hired anybody else other than that.
Well, what amazes me though is, you downplay that launch, your first launch, your mini launch, and you said you got like 5 sales or something like that, but that's 99.9% of people don't even get that far. I haven't even gotten
Yeah,
that far to that point yet. So, those kinds of experiences, to me are so important because you learn from them and you learn from it, right? And you grow upon that. And I think that's just awesome. I mean, that's part of this. We call it a journey because it is a journey, right? There is no end. There's little goals that you meet
yeah,
along the way, but it's just you just constantly improving. That's like, to me, that's just really awesome that you did that. You put yourself out there, got some affiliates, did a mini launch, and it was success. You sold product. That's it right there.
yeah,
To
yeah.
me, that's a success. Huge.
I'll tell you what, like I've had promos where I did pretty well on, and like I got a bit of sales, but I don't know, it's just something about selling your own product, even if you don't sell that much, that feels so much better. Even if you don't make as much, it feels like I did that, and that's something I created at thin air. Literally thin air because it's abstract, right? When it comes to these digital courses, unless you make like a newsletter, like a physical newsletter or something like that. But it's kind of amazing to me. We live in an amazing time where you can like just say, all right, here's something in the ether, go buy it. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's kind of amazing, So like, I do see it like that first launch. It was small, but it was a ripple effect, right? It got things going for me, and then it led to a whole lot of things. Not to mention a whole lot of really good relationships with people like Gary, you, and and many others. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the relationships. We talk about that here on the show. Me and Ken
Mhm.
talk about the truth about making money online is the relationships you build with people. Of course, me and Phil, we're actually in a chat group. So we have like a little mini mastermind where we chat basically every day about life, but about marketing and the things we're doing, the products we're promoting or ideas for products. Me and Phil actually launched a product together where we taught how to get or build a list, add the first 100 subscribers to an email list. I did YouTube, he did Facebook, and it's interesting because most people don't realize like what it takes to get going and what it takes to get started, and like how to actually get your first commission, just building an audience and just use what is at your disposal, because I thought Facebook and social media was dumb. And I was like, like me and Ken talked about this backstage, but like with Uncle Phil, it was like, I took his Facebook course and his Facebook course was, what was it? Lethal social weapon or something.
lethal affiliate weapon. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was so much
but
fun, and I love coming up with that name. It's fun. But yeah,
that course showed me what you did. And honestly, when I went through the course and then I'd seen you posting, and that's how I connected with you on Facebook through, friends of friends of friends. And I was like, this dude is doing what he taught in his course. So I was like, for me, I was like, you were literally a rock star, right? I was like, he's literally doing what he taught and it's working. So I should start doing this kind of thing and stop being an idiot and, use Facebook for what it could be used for.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I got to say that's one of my favorite testimonials. I will say that because to me, that's the best feeling in the world. To me, I don't know about y'all. Like if somebody takes something you said and it actually works, it's one thing it works for you, right? But if they do it and it works for them, I mean, like that's why I don't understand how these coaches are like. Why don't you just support your students? like it's the best. It's like the best feeling. Like I enjoy that like almost more than like just making a sell myself. I taught somebody how to do it. That's I mean, not to say it is, but it's like it's some form of getting towards mastery. Like that journey. Right? It's like not that I have mastery or anything like that. I'm just saying it's another step, right? It's one thing to do it yourself. It's another one to teach. Another thing to teach someone else to do it. And that somebody else actually follows through, which is awesome. So that's one of my favorite stories ever. I think that's really really cool. And now I'm following Gary to learn how to do YouTube and be better about. Or we're doing our channel together, but I still learn from him as well. So you got to be humble and learn. And that's another thing. You got to be humble and know that you can learn from everybody. You know what I mean? And not think that you know everybody and everything. Because trust me, I've come across people like that don't want to be told a thing, and they're like, if you tell them anything, they'll be a little pissy about it, to be honest. But yeah, no, I appreciate that though, man. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just talking about the learning aspect of this journey that we're on, and that it's ironic that you brought it up, because I had mentioned to the professor that I love learning stuff all the time, and throughout this journey that we're on, it's you start thinking about things differently, right? Because you get conditioned from a very very early age to think a certain way about the experiences that you have. It's only when you are in this realm or you start your own business do you start thinking differently about things, right? Like normally people would, like you said, people get very defensive probably when you try to teach them something new, because they've been doing it for so long that they can't open their minds to accept new ideas. And for me, I know that along the way, just the whole mindset piece of learning and just constantly growing. I mean, it's just this journey of just really improving upon yourself. So that's, to me, I like the approach, and I think most people, you guys are out there, listening to this or watching this on the channel. You be open to learning, because the more people that you meet, the more you're going to learn that there are different ways to do certain things. And you can learn a few tricks here or there and incorporate them into your own strategy or workflow. And so that's really awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So
No.
Ken talked about the journey. So that all journeys start with, getting started, or, your first step. So what was your first step? What was the first niche that you were in that you were like, yeah, this is my niche? And then how did you earn your first commission in that niche?
Hey, honestly, it was internet marketing. Like I just got into it. Like I remember I wanted to get to it. It really is affiliate marketing. Is really what it was, right? So first it was trying to get into that MLM stuff, which I guess was kind of affiliate marketing. But what's it called? I remember affiliate marketing is what I wanted to do because of that big Stripe house. Like I don't think he's the best vessel to use for that, but I mean I don't really know too much of his courses, but I just know that he's got a kind of a funky backstory. But I will say that like just the thought of being able, and I think a lot of people are attracted to this, right? Because no support, you don't have to create your own product, you don't have to do all this stuff, you just tell people about it, and you make commissions, right? That's what I really wanted to get into. And eventually that did end up getting me my first commission, although I didn't know how to. I think I got it off of the solo ad or something like that, where I didn't really even know what I was doing, right? But you know what? Sometimes that's like you said, Ken. That's the thing that gets things rolling. I didn't know how I did it, but I did it, and then that's a barrier that you break, right? Like I don't know the exact story. It's kind of like that 4 minute mile thing. Nobody could do it until somebody else did it, and then everybody started doing it, right? So I remember my first sell. My first sell was one of Jeremy Kennedy's products. It was called Grandma's Profit Revenge. It had like the funniest like little cartoon or whatever, like grandma like shaking her fist or something. But I remember I just remember I think his grandma made some commissions or something, or somebody's grandma. I can't remember exactly, but I remember being like, that was my first online sale ever, and I thought it was so cool, and I was hooked. Like, but there was a long period from where that first sale to my future sales, because I was like, oh, I got this figured out. Now I did not. I did not have it figured out. I just got lucky, you know. So it was very much a chance thing.
So I know that me and Ken talk a lot about, because over at Ken Furukawa Marketing and 30-minute marketing, before I started Real Reviews and you came on board with me to review products, part of being an affiliate is reviewing the product. Even if you don't do a review, you give an evaluation because you're trying to sell it, right? You're making a recommendation. So when you make a recommendation for a product to the audience that you built, what are some of the key things that you look at, and how do you evaluate the product? And understanding that based upon your recommendation and that relationship that you have with your audience as an affiliate marketer, what are some of the key things that you use to evaluate a product before you actually recommend it?
I think the first thing I'll do is see who the vendor is, because that really tells you more than anything, right? See who the vendor is, because I mean, some of these vendors use multiple networks, and I can guarantee you, if I see the name of a certain vendor and I've seen him on WordPlus or something like that, there's no way I wouldn't even think twice of promoting it myself. I might do a review just for giggles. That's about it. But as far as promoting, I would see what the vendor is. For instance, like y'all said, you had JK on here. I'll promote JK stuff all day. Of course, I would still look through the product. That's one thing. Is don't ever assume that just because the vendor is good or whatever, that you will actually just automatically promote them. And I don't think that's a very good way to do business, because you know what? Not everybody has hits. You know what I mean? Or not necessarily hits, but like I wouldn't just go off of history, right? Other than like, okay, let me look at the product. But that's another thing, is like, look at the product. Don't just don't I don't know how many vendors just promote something without even looking at it. I would never do that. I would at least look through it. I mean, like, you don't have to see every single little thing. You know, I imagine all of three of us have an idea how to build an email list or a squeeze page or whatever, but at least go through it, make sure that it's not, that there's some kind of quality to it, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, but I would say that, like, check out the vendors, right? Are they one big thing that happens nowadays is see the testimonials, right? Because I mean, yeah, the testimonial is just kind of silly sometimes, right? I saw a product recently, and I just had to laugh, because like they're literally using a stock photo, fake person, like they say this grandma had made some money. I think you know which one I'm talking about, Gary. I think I showed you, and it was like literally like a stock photo from something else, and I was just like, what is this garbage, dude? Like, how do they? And here's the sad thing, is that they'll make 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 cells, and nobody cares. Like the industry norm in the industry is just to be slimy, and I don't ever want to be like that. Like if I miss something, I miss something, and I'll own up to it, right? But as far as like me doing my due diligence, I'll try to make sure that I'll never promote something that just looks like BS. First of all, looks like I couldn't do it, um, and definitely don't promote any crappy vendors or anything like that, But I will say this: I'll give them if they make a decent product, I'll give them a fair shot if I see it. But I mean, just based on history, it's kind of hard for that to be true. but but I'll say that's my criteria: just see if it's a decent product. Make sure the vendors are okay. Make sure that the testimonials don't look crazy. Make sure there's nothing wonky going on with the page or anything like that, and just make sure it's stuff that I would like sell to my mom or something like that. I guess I don't know, like if my grandma was wanted to my mom was wanting to buy it, then something that'd be a good test, right? A good litmus test right there, right? So yeah, I guess that's what I would do,
Yeah, I think you touch upon a lot of important points that beginners out there don't even think about. I know when I entered into this whole Warrior Plus piranha filled pond, I didn't know any better, right? We all jump in and we lose our sense of self and our sense of common sense, and we just jump in going, $17 so I could make, unlimited $247.57, checks every 2 days. Count me in. And
Yeah.
it just kind of just sucks you in. So the kind of work that you're doing right now, in addition to what we all do, I think it's important to shed light upon just not necessarily to say, hey, this is a really bad product, but also just to talk about the strategy, because I think education is part of what we all do. Like this podcast is all about education. And I think by you showing people, like, this is what you should do. And not just in reviewing products, but as a consumer out there, if you're looking at products, do your due diligence. Just know that that countdown timer, if you if you refresh the page, it's going to come back. And
Oh my
that
God,
product,
I forgot about that. That's one
yeah,
of the
and
most
that
annoying
product.
things.
Well, I don't even talk about it anymore because you know what? Most people don't even pay attention to it anyway, like you said.
I I gotta tell you, that's one of the most annoying things as a marketer. That's one of the things that makes it so satisfying when you have your own product is that you can control stuff like that. Because I would never use, not purposely try to use some kind of fake scarcity. Like if you change things up in the future or whatever, right? But like as far as like using it as part of the sales tech, like it's gonna stop. And I hate that. That has happened to products I promoted, and I hate it when they do that because I don't have control over that. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, dude, I use that as a part of the sales process, and then I remember a couple years back, I won't name the vendor, but there was a vendor. I told them I kind of went about it the wrong way. I'm not gonna lie. So so I remember telling the vendor I like the product and everything, man, but like I literally told him there's a little bit of BS on your sales page when it comes to the scarcity or whatever. But man, that buzzword got him going, and like I was just like, you know what? I could have been a little bit more tactful, in all due respect or in all fairness, better yet. But at the same time, like I wouldn't have to tell him anything if it wasn't BS on the page to begin with. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, and I remember it had one of those things where sometimes it would show it. So that makes it even like scummier in my opinion, right? Sometimes it'll show the time or something like I didn't get you here, but I'll get you over here. Yeah, I'm like, why do you have to do that? Dude, it's a good product. It's a good sales page. There's no need to do that, you know. So I remember like he eventually took it off. That was kind of cool, right? He actually listened. I just kind of went about it the wrong way, but I remember at the time being like, man, why am I even like why do I even mess with stuff like this? So that is a good thing to bring out right there, Ken. Is that pay attention to those things because those things are just kind of another little litmus test of what kind of vendor they are. They have to use shady, like I would say, it's kind of shady tactics, because it's like anything like that or anything that where they, I hate this so much, guys. When they just have that coupon that comes up automatically. It's like the industry norm every single time you reload the page. The coupon's there. Like I didn't get you for 17, but I'll get you. I know you'll take it for 14, and it works. That's what's sad. It works. They do it because it works.
Mhm.
And another one is when they do the downsell and they never take anything away. I hate that. Like it's like I don't know. I don't know how
So
people just buy it.
yeah, so I know you mentioned at the beginning of the podcast we were talking about, getting in and you're talking about selling your own products as you got into the industry. So as a vendor, when you go out, and of course, going back to that relationship piece, when you try to establish relationships with other vendors or just people that want to be affiliates, and part of being a vendor is learning how to market your product to people that'll promote it. And basically, the end game of that is how much money they'll make, right? As an affiliate,
Yeah.
But it seems like, and we've talked about this, like in our chat and everything about like how we have to go to this extent to really just sort of get them to get on board with us more than just making money, but kind of like, shine it up and even like, kiss up to them. And you're like, what, dude, do you want to make money promoting this good product or not? You know what I mean? Like at
I
the end of the day, that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, I got to tell you, man, this really kind of gets my goat because I don't like I don't that's one of the things I don't like about being a vendor is having a suck. I don't like kissing ass, period, right? And those are the people, and I come across many of them in my time in internet marketing where like those are kind of I've never liked JV managers. Like I mean, even if they're doing the right thing, like they're doing what they're supposed to do, they kind of seem kind of sleazy to me. They don't seem genuine to me. They're just like, hey Phil, it's like like that guy always in your DMs, for the ladies, it's like you know who that person is, so it's very disingenuous. So for me, I would never want to be that person. Like I would never. Like, I actually got offered that. Now that I remember, it's been some time. I can't remember who the vendor was. They asked me, "Hey, you want to be?" Because they're like, "You're really good at talking with people," which I am, right? I was like, I would never want to be an affiliate manager. Like, I would never want to be I would not want to do that because I just don't like the idea of having to like kiss butt just to get somebody to promote my product. Especially what I hate the most, and I know you can attest to this, Gary, is somebody being like, well, you should do your product, getting that unwarranted advice, which always comes. And I tell you what, guys, like I can learn from the next guy just like anybody, right? But when you get that unwarranted advice, this is one from somebody it's cool, or somebody that you trust or that you look up to, it's different, right? But when you get it from just all the time, I got to tell you, it's really, really, really annoying, and it's really, really like, you know what? I ain't even gonna ever ask you again. It's like I'd rather, I don't even want your sales. I just want to, I just was gonna ask you, and now you got to bring all this stuff up and try to tell me to change my product. It's really annoying. Like it's really, I gotta say, even if they're trying to help, sometimes it is annoying. And even if it is good advice, you just kind of have to, you kind of have to read the room too, right? Like some, like I know, like Ken, you said, you got to be open and stuff like that. But at the same time, there's a balance, right? There's amount of openness and then amount of like, hey, just be cool and like, either promote the product or don't. You know what I mean? I'm not asking you to do anything crazy here. So I completely understand, Gary. In other words.
Yeah, a lot of armchair quarterbacks out there, so to speak,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
worst are the ones that have never launched a product and they're giving you.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's
But
different.
I look at it as someone who's never launched a product, who wants to launch one, and the professor knows because he keeps reminding me every once in a while his way of, hey, how's that? And I know what's coming, but like to me, and this may sound all like I don't want people to think that I try to put this value over something that I do everything like white, what do you call that, white knight stuff,
Yeah.
but
White Knights. Yeah.
for me, like when I look at a product, if the product is good, I obviously I want to make money. That's the name of the game, right? The bottom line is I want to make money, but I'm only going to make money if I provide something of value to my audience, to the people that follow me. So if the product's a good product and I see the value in that product, that is something that could actually help them for them to make money, then it's something I would promote. And case in point, right? I'm promoting a product right now, and the product is an SEO product, right? And we all know there's like a gazillion SEO. I mean,
Yeah.
like a gazillion SEO products, but I know that the product will resonate with a certain segment of my audience. And so, to me, if I find that there's value there, I'll promote it, even though I know for a fact that out of the, however many people I have on my subscriber list, a very, very tiny percentage of those people are actually going to buy the product. I will go out of my way, and I stressed out the entire week leading up to it, trying to get everything set and put everything together and get everything ready for the launch. But I look at it as, I'm doing it for my audience. I'm doing it for them because I find value in it, and I want them to see that this is the kind of products that I promote. So if the product is of value, then I'm going to promote it, even if I know, like, oh gosh, I'm going to spend all this time doing it. I look at it as a learning experience because I had so many issues going through this launch that I could have just easily said, what, forget it, I'm not going to do it. But I said, what, I'm gonna grind it out, and I'm learning new things, new skills as I build out my automation and build out this launch. So I kind of look at things that way. So just know that there are affiliates out there that if we find value in the product, we'll promote it. Like I'll definitely promote it because I want to promote good products, and I want people to remember me as someone like, hey, you know what, he promotes products. Hey, the product may be boring, in some respects, but it's a good product, right? So, and most good products are, and products and services out there can be boring, right? I mean, people go to Get Response. They're not with flashy countdown timers and stuff, and seriously, with someone's grandma saying, "Oh, Get Response made me $1 million," right? It's the product is the product. They've been around, and so to me, like when you talk about the vendors and their track record and putting together good products, to me that for me as an affiliate, that's the bottom line. Like if it's a good product, I'll promote it.
Yeah. So that all boils down to your reputation, and for the type of marketing that we do, content marketing, where we put our face and our name, and that's our brand. That's the most important thing. So kind of shifting gears a little bit. So Phil, what's your favorite, or what have you found to be like the best traffic source? Give us the secret traffic source out there.
The super secret hack trap. Honestly, it's just been. I mean, I'd like to say it's email list. I've always worked on, but like it's been the other way around for me. It's always been social media, whether it's been Facebook, YouTube. I mean, heck, even now, like I got a little channel and it's building up some traction outside of internet marketing on TikTok. Like I completely stopped doing it back in August, and I'm like, I just looked again. And I just made one video, and I had like 100 people on a little live. I'm like, bro, like TikTok is actually pretty. It can. I don't know if it's a long-term thing, but it's working right now, and it might get people into like a YouTube. I do have a little YouTube channel, and I need to get back to it. So it's just another little thing. So, but yeah, it's always been social media for me. Like I always made more on social media than email, just being honest. But it doesn't mean that the email is not good. You can always get people from your email list onto your social, which could be like maybe you get people into your Facebook group or to talk to you on social media, and that helps you close a high ticket sale. You never know. So it's always been like that. Like I've always just followed up with people, and that's what I tell people is like, if you're having trouble with making sales, like just exhaust yourself and just message all these people back when you have something to promote. Just get personal, real personal with them. I think Gary Vee was talking about, and if you don't, just to go a little rah-rah with you, he would like message everybody personally, that responding on his tweets and stuff like that. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? It's somebody that's actually in it to win it. You know what I mean? So I've done that. I still do that too. So it's like just be kind of relentless, right? Be undeniable. So I think social media is really good for that, because email's great, but if you don't have a big email list, you don't have that relationship or whatever. Go make it. Go make that relationship. You can start with one person. I've had people that buy over and over and over. It's just that one person making my launches, right? They buy the whole funnel, right? It might change your whole promotion, So yeah, always social media. I wish it wasn't just social media, but because email's so much easier just to like click the button and just send it, but it's just not the case at the moment,
Well, and I can attest for everyone listening and watching that he does follow up, because I know there have been times on social media where you were talking about something that you had that you would just have to message you, and he follows up, and not only does he follow up, but he follows up later just to see if you have any questions.
Yeah.
So he does walk the walk, folks. He does do that. So yeah, kudos to you, because you're the example of sticking to that one thing that you're really good at, and just utilizing it, and now you're exploring. Once you get good, and you can go out and start exploring other things, and that's what you're doing, and that's awesome, because it's that
Yeah.
learning process, right, that we all go through.
Yeah. The funny thing is that this new niche, I'll tell you what it is. So basically, I'm a total dork. I love Warhammer. Like I love Warhammer. I've been playing it since I was 19, off and on, right? But I've been getting a lot more into it lately. I don't even know how to monetize it right yet. Like I have ideas, but there's nothing like clear, right? Like it's not like, oh, here's my Warhammer club or anything. Like it's nothing like that. It's just like I'm building up the audience. I'll figure the other stuff up later. I mean, even if here's the thing, guys. Like even if it doesn't do anything, I'm having fun making it. So if money's involved in the future, then cool. If not, still cool. It's documenting from when I'm 60 or 70, and then I'm like, hey, remember when I did all the stuff? I get to relive it. I mean, how cool is that? You basically get to record yourself living, and it hasn't always been like that. You know what I mean? Like we haven't had a video camera on us since we're 8 or something like that. You know what I mean? So either way, it'll be fun. You know what I mean? And that's the important thing. It won't seem like work if someday I make money with it. So
Yeah, that's what I talk about all the time when I'm working with people. Is I try to convince them that creating your own traffic by producing content, and then have that become traffic, and then worry about the offer, and then all the other complicated things like the people that are following you based upon your traffic, based upon your content. Then worry about putting them on an email list and learning how to set that up and run promotions and do email marketing. I'm like, all that stuff will come later, and you'll be surprised how quickly it comes if you just focus on the thing you need to focus on, right? Focus, get the traffic, build the audience.
and Gary's got really good with that focus thing. He's got
Yeah, he
it.
is. He's a pro.
I would still be like, is it this side? Yeah,
It
right.
becomes muscle memory after a while.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. But no, you're absolutely right, man. If you can just have these sales, it kind of sounds silly, but sales be a byproduct, and then people just trust you just because you're just that's really cool. In fact, the people that I trust the most are the people that are kind of like that. Like they just kind of say, you trust them so much that they don't have to give you a big old spiel. They're just like, by the way, like for instance, like Tony Shepard. Like Tony Shepard could promote. If Tony Shepard promoted anything, I would go buy it in a heartbeat. But he doesn't promote anything other than his own stuff. So it's cool. But like he has the funniest stories. He's one of the guys where I didn't get him at first, and then once I did, I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta go consume all of his stuff. Like I love this guy, and that's how it'll be. It could be for you if like when somebody likes your stuff, it could be like I have to go buy everything they say. Just like I just said, right? Like I'll buy anything they say. You know what I mean? Like literally, like if Gary told me, "Hey, go buy this," I would probably be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy it," and or even Ken, you know, like if they told me, "Hey, you should go buy this," I probably would go buy it, if as long as it's at like 9.97 or something crazy. So, but
You know what they say, niches be crazy.
It's just be crazy. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
Because that's how I got into your realm, was niches be crazy. I was like, this is like the coolest name ever. I gotta follow this guy,
yeah,
and that's how it all started. But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's funny, man. It's so like I had somebody try to buy it before, the name or whatever. I was like, it's kind of a cool name, but the funny thing is, like, I didn't really even know what it actually came from. I was playing on a softball team, and our name was Pitches Be Crazy, with a P. So like, I wasn't very creative. I just kind of like, oh, this is close to internet marketing stuff or whatever, and I don't know. I just thought it was a cool name. It was very memorable, right? So and that, and then later on, I got the nickname. I remember who did it. It was my buddy Dan Marks, who doesn't. He's not even on social media anymore. He came up with Uncle Phil, and then that stuck as well. It's funny what sticks, but I think it's good to have like a little moniker or whatever, because then people, they might not remember your name, but they'll remember your nickname or whatever. And it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny, like in the way that works out. I mean, now I use it all the time. Now I call myself Uncle Phil all the time. I can't even like. I don't know. I think of myself like I think I'm Uncle Phil, you know. So, so yeah. But yeah, niches be crazy. I think I got lucky there. I couldn't believe that domain name was available.
keep it.
I would.
Don't ever. Yeah, just keep it. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep it. It's been
yeah,
fun.
I'm waiting for the Facebook group to come back. It was a lot of fun.
You know, I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about. I kind of, just all honesty, I was kind of like, if I do bring it back, do I want to bring back the same thing, or do I want to start a pay group? Do I want to start so it's in the head. I just don't know. I just had to get away from some time. Uh, but you know, Gary, like I got a little hiatus, and then
Yeah.
but you know, I'm back, and I just kind of want to see it. The thing is, I will tell you this, like, and you probably know, running a Facebook group is a little stressful as well. You know, like it is, because like you put a lot of work, kind of like what you said, Ken. You put a lot of work into it, and if there's nothing in return, it's kind of tough. You know, like it's kind of like a little bit of a kick in the teeth sometimes, but at the same time, that goes back to the whole like you have to love it. You have to love it, and and I think for a little while I was just kind of resenting it, but it's because I had some stuff going on. But I do feel myself the urge come back, like I kind of want to get back to it because I can reach so many more people. You know what I mean? It's not just like I just got to make it. I can reach so many more people, and in essence, it's almost like a little email list. It basically was, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And really, that kind of goes into the whole thing about the social media thing. Is like I had a Facebook group, and even though it wasn't as responsive at the end, or not at the end, but like before I closed it, it still was always getting attention, right? It's always eyes on your offers, eyes on whatever you're doing. If they don't catch you in the Facebook group, they'll catch you on your profile. It's a little bit more seeing you, right? So yeah, I've thought about it. So I don't know, man. Maybe y'all are pushing me towards that, but I'm thinking about how I can present that again. So we'll see here in the future. We'll see what really happens, right? So
Yeah, it's super cool. So, if you could give one piece of advice to the listeners on the podcast, and of course the people watching on the YouTube channel, just one piece of advice, how they can do the thing that they want to do, which is make money online.
I would say is man, that's a good question. I, know, I knew you'd ask something like that, but at the same time, I think is one of the main things is I heard something that was kind of resonated with me is comparison is the thief of joy. It's basically if you compare yourself to people that are like miles ahead of you, you're just destined to fail. And just be a little bit happy to be a little bit further today than you are, than you were yesterday or a couple weeks back, because if your dipstick is a guru or somebody that's got 10,000 people on their list and you have five, that's not a good dipstick. I would say, just try to stay a little consistent. And even if you don't see immediate results, focus on what they call compounding interest, right? So, like, eventually, kind of like what, for instance, Gary's a great example of this. He started his YouTube channel. And I remember, like, he started with just a couple hundred people or around there, and then before I know it, bam, 9,000 subscribers. And that's not that far away. Before you know it, you'll be 50, 40, whatever it is, right? And it's like, I wish I would have worked on that darn thing before. You're gonna say that stuff if you don't stick with it, right? So I don't. So a couple things. Don't compare yourself to gurus or anything like that, but also try to stick with the things and don't overwhelm yourself, right? Even if it's 15 minutes a day, whatever, 15 minutes a week is better than zero. So So those are a couple things that I would say, and I don't know, my best advice at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Just focus on the thing and just do it, Talk about it all the time. Like Ken says, finish what you started, and just understand and take
Oh,
take
is
feed.
that what that says? Man, I'm
Yeah,
such a dummy. I was like, I saw it. I was like, what? Oh, I
yeah.
see. Funny
For every-
stuff. Oh, this guy right here.
yeah, for everybody on the
That's actually pretty
podcast,
cool. I like that.
everybody on
Yeah,
the podcast, that's his sign. That's Ken's sign behind him. Finish what you started.
I'm such a
So
dummy. I seen it and it just kind of didn't even think about it. Oh well.
yeah. So with that, I mean, the thing that we just like to be or try to make people aware of, and that's the reason that we brought you on, and that's the whole reason that we have the affiliate files, is to tell the truth, let people know the truth about making money online. It's not just what you see out there. Like you said, don't compare yourself to somebody that's been doing it forever, that found that success. Use them you can use them as a benchmark to go after them, to go get them. You know what I mean? Be
Yeah,
like, that's where I want to be, but don't be depressed because you're not there. Well, you haven't even started yet. So just get started and follow through. But
yeah.
with that, unless Ken has anything that he needs to say.
No, I ain't got nothing. This is an awesome interview, awesome podcast. Thanks, Uncle Phil, for coming on, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
thanks for
So
inviting me.
yeah. So go ahead and share with the audience whatever you want to share. Like throw your elevator pitch at them if you got an email
I don't,
club or something like that.
Yeah, Gary knows I have an emo club. So guys, if I got an emo club. I see. I don't even remember my whole. I know it's you can check out my emo clubs. It just be crazy. It's like the longest URL ever. It's DFY monthly marketing emails. All right, so it's basically done for you. If y'all
Yeah.
y'all like some fun, personable, witty emails to put into your autoresponder or use them on social media. There's not one way to do this thing, guys. Just get your message out there. If that helps you, then I'm very happy. It's not anything too crazy. But that's one thing that I've been feeding for the last 2 years and some change now, which seems kind of crazy. It's probably longer than I stuck to anything. But yeah, definitely check it out if that seems like it's something up your alley. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for y'all. So pretty simple.
Yeah. We appreciate you being here, Phil. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been a lot of fun.
All right. Yep. I'm Gary. He's Ken. He's Uncle Phil. Thanks for watching. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.